Yo, man, we gotta go. Jeremy.
At 12:01 Friday morning, the NBA locked out its players after failing to reach a new collective bargaining agreement.
A lockout has a very large impact on a lot of people.
The current offer that is on the table is not one that we can accept.
It could be a couple weeks, could be a couple months.
We're already hearing this is going to be a very long lockout.
We're about to go into the nuclear winter of the NBA.
The collective bargaining process has completely broken down.
And we're all in this together.
And if these players don't get them what they want, they're not going to play.
I don't think it's resolved. I think it's bad advice.
I actually secretly wanted the lockout to continue because it gave me extra time to get better.
We are willing to continue discussions on a potential compromise.
There are some owners who are willing to forego the season.
We want to play basketball, that's what we do. And right now, we don't have an opportunity to go out and do what we do best.
If we need to lose an entire season, we should go ahead and do it.
Got all my sweaty t-shirts in here, man. That's disgusting.
And so I knew the longer the lockout went, the better player I would become.
We're warming up. We're just warming up. Boom. That's it. That one was perfect.
Feel good? Feel good.
As he gets better as a shooter over time, it's going to be like money, money, money. He's only going to get better, and he's awfully good now. Don't you think? That's the other part, getting into this cranium to get him to believe, like I believe in him.
Merry Christmas, basketball fans. The NBA is coming back. Fans are getting what they want. Owners and players reached a tentative agreement to end the 149-day lockout.
Going into my second year, I'm not really thinking about anything I'm afraid of. You know, I feel like through my first year, at least in my own eyes, like I proved to myself that I can play at this level. And I think mentally I'm at a much better place where I'm just going in and I'm just gonna be myself and play my own game. And from that standpoint, I'm really not afraid of anything going into training camp. I feel like I have nothing to lose.
We didn't have a center that we felt good about, and we needed to create enough salary cap space to go make an offer. And in order to do so, we had to cut somebody. It was one of the hardest decisions that we could have had to make.
They called me up midway through in the middle of a drill. They're like, hey, you gotta go upstairs. I went in there and the general manager and assistant general manager were like, we gotta let you go. We're trying to get DeAndre Jordan.
He had worked tremendously hard preseason. So I was like, man, this is a blow. I mean, this is a kick in the stomach right here.
They're like, oh, we wish you the best of luck. I was like, thanks.
Within 48 hours, he was picked up by the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, we were hoping no one else picked him up. Yeah, we were interested in him for quite a long time. Had been to his games at Harvard. At the time, we just added him and said, hey, let's bring him in and see what happens.
I went to Houston. There were 6 point guards there. I couldn't even get reps in practice. I don't understand. I was backup point guard at Golden State, and now they're gonna bring me here and I'm 6th string.
When the Rockets picked him up, that was probably the bottom of the barrel for him. Sunday night, we were in fellowship, and I remember Jeremy said, hey, I gotta go. I gotta catch my flight to Houston. He was standing at the door, and he had tears in his eyes because the pressure was really getting to him. He just didn't know what his future was gonna hold. And I remember he turned to me and he says, I don't know if I can keep doing this.
After only 12 days with the Rockets, he was cut again. It was Christmas Day.
So, all right, obviously a lot has been happening in the last couple weeks. What's going through your mind and how you feeling today?
Christmas morning, I was waived, flew back home on Christmas night, and within 2 weeks I had been waived twice by two teams who said they still wanted me. 10 a.m. this morning, found out the Knicks had picked me up. And that's gonna be my first game with the Knicks. It's gonna be at Oracle Arena. You know, I'm literally going into this game tomorrow night. I have no idea who my teammates are. I've never played with them one time. I have no idea what plays we run. I don't know a single play. And you know, I haven't even talked to the coach yet. So it's gonna be interesting.
And you see Jeremy Lin coming in. They just signed him today. Went to walk through the shoot around today. Lin, who played with Golden State last year sparingly, played in the D-League. And it's a nice ovation.
It's a great opportunity for me to be able to just play. And I think for me right now, the one thing I really care about is just an opportunity to play. I'm gonna give my best effort, and if I go down, I'm gonna make sure I go down doing it my way, which is God's way. And so it's the night before, and I got to get my bags ready. And after the game tomorrow, we head to LA, Sacramento, and then I'm off to New York for good. Five games go by, and I'm not playing at all. Nothing was really making sense to me. If you bring me in and you don't let me play in practice, let alone the games, then why am I here? Well, I felt like, I could help you, and I was watching us lose.
The Knicks have lost 4 straight games.
And the losing streak continues. Knicks have now lost 6 in a row.
There's a chemistry problem there on the floor. They need a point guard to distribute the ball.
Jeremy's original 2-year contract was about to expire, which meant that if the Knicks let him go, he'd be dropped with no pay, and this time, for good.
During practice, Jeremy would stand right beside me on the side of the court and not really get in even in practice. He was just there in case one of these guys got hurt.
I pretty much saw the writing on the wall. I was like, I'm pretty much done. And I was resigned to the fact that I was gonna get let go.
Standing on the side of the court, he comes up to him and he goes, hey coach, I've got a question. I go, what is it, Jeremy?
I'm taking a taxi everywhere. Should I ship my car out here? And he was like, probably not. I was like, oh hell, I'm gonna get waived.
And so I went and talked to Glenn. I said, Glenn, what do you think? And he goes, well, we haven't really seen him. We don't know. And I said, you know what? Let me try to see if we can get him in a couple games before Tuesday and just see what happens.
They're like, look, you're going to play tonight. I want you to go out there. I don't want you to do too much. I was like, okay. I won't.
8 points for Barnett. Lin coughs it up. Bradley to the rim.
I didn't do too much. I pretty much did nothing. I played horrible. I missed shots. I had turnovers. I had bad fouls.
Lin reached in.
I thought at most I had one more chance the next game. I was like, okay, I just screwed the Boston game. I probably will get cut, but they may give me one more chance tomorrow.
I think at the time, Jeremy was actually staying with his brother in New York. And he was talking to me on the plane. He's like, my brother, he's got some people over. So, is it cool if I crash at your place instead? I was like, yeah, sure, man, come, I was given forewarning, though, that my couch wasn't huge. It was actually a rental couch at the time. It might have been maybe 6 feet long.
We get in at like 2 in the morning. I go over to Landry's place. He's like, this is my couch. And his couch is like this big. I'm like, dude, I have my head hanging off of one end and my legs hanging off the other. I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get a good night's rest? Like, I might play tomorrow. This might be my last chance.
I remember thinking to myself, one, I hope he gets in because he really didn't do enough in the Boston game to warrant getting big minutes. And two, if he gets in, he's got to play well or they're going to release him after the game.
It's funny, this season was the only season in the last like 11, 12 years since the last lockout where people have played back-to-back-to-back games. And New York only had one stretch of back-to-back-to-back games. And if we had more days to rest, I'm not sure if I would have been able to play in that game.
I prayed that day, and my prayer is, God, if this is your will for him to play NBA, you need to show us.
And there's Morrow. Morrow knocks it down. Williams sets himself, puts up the three, and knocks that one down. And the Knicks find themselves down by 10 already.
Again, Mike, he's coming in.
Jeremy Lin, and you hear a pretty big ovation.
He didn't look tentative. He didn't look overly concerned. He looked like, dude, I'm about to go do it. If they cut me, they cut me. If I don't never play another NBA game, so be it. I'm going to play like Jeremy Lin can play.
Jeremy Lin drives and finishes. Nice play from Lin. Here's the strip ball. Lin throws it ahead to Tony Douglas. Up for the layup. Backs it in. Here comes Shepard to Lin. Lin flips it up and puts it in. Jeremy Lin once again.
He finished the half with like 10, 4, and 4. Like, good numbers for a half. That was such a higher high than like anything he's like done. So I was like ecstatic at that point. The second half, he just went nuts.
Driving to the basket, does it again. And a chance for a three-point play as he got hit. Bumped by Petro, gets to the rim, count it, and a foul. He is in one special night become a Garden favorite. Will it be remembered?
He was stringing together like 3 crossover moves in a row, like things he's never done before.
Splits the defense again, gets to the rim, pops it in, and a foul! Wow!
And the crowd on their feet paying homage to this man.
Clyde, even it looks like his teammates don't believe what they're seeing.
I was just so emotional. There's no way they can cut me now. I just had the game of my life.
Again, the crossover, the basket, puts it up, puts it in. Jeremy Lin with 25. And this crowd is going crazy.
Penetrating, manipulating, devastating the Knicks.
He's the hero from Harvard as the Knicks get a much-needed victory on the game of his life. And he is sworn by his ecstatic teammates and a jubilant crowd here at Madison Square Garden.
I'm just thankful to God for this opportunity to be able to come out here and play with this team and this organization.
Man, I was taking a shower and I was like, I didn't even know. I was like, is this water like from the shower or am I actually crying like tears of joy? So I was just like so high on emotion. I was so happy. I was sitting in the shower, replaying all of the times in the D-League, all these flashbacks of these tough times I had to go through. And I remember I got out, I saw my family and they were all smiling. I called my agent and he was yelling at me on the phone, you know, like, I'm so proud of you. I knew you could do it. That was kind of like the much needed breakthrough that I was hoping for.
Before Jeremy Lin's first big game against New Jersey, he really wasn't in the Knicks' plans at that point, and I'm told they had begun to look seriously at replacements.
Clyde, Saturday night, Madison Square Garden sounded as loud as we've heard it all season. He was magnificent. You just hope from a Knicks standpoint that he can run the offense as well as he ran it on Saturday.
I just really wasn't nervous for my first start. And, you know, usually I would be, but I don't know why. I just felt really comfortable, and it was just a supernatural peace. And it's one of those things that, you know, I can't really explain.
For Jeremy's first NBA start, Amari Stoudemire was out for personal reasons, and Carmelo Anthony suffered an injury in the first half.
Carmelo Anthony comes up hobbling. He's in a lot of discomfort. He can't move right now.
The Knicks desperately needed a leader, and Jeremy would answer the call.
Lin gets around Jefferson, looking, and backs it in. He had a couple of those the other night.
We were running pick and roll after pick and roll after pick and roll.
Lin sits inside to Jeffries.
I didn't know how he would follow up that New Jersey game because it was such a high, but he just kept making ridiculous layups. He was hitting jumpers.
They didn't know my tendencies. They didn't know my weak spots, my strong spots, my sweet spots. They had never seen me play.
I'm riding like friggin' secretariat.
Jeremy Lin with his second consecutive career night. He is the new starting point guard of the Knicks.
You know, there's so many little variables, with every step of the way being something I can't control. You know, Houston waves me a day late. If they waved me a day earlier, I would have been past the waiver wire. If Shumpert gets hurt that morning, the Knicks pick me up because they had worked me out the year before. You know, it happens to be D'Antoni who's coaching here, whose offense is tailor-made for me. And all of a sudden things just go crazy.
He's averaging 26.5 points a game the last 2 games.
I don't think that's going to continue.
Obviously, that's not going to continue.
And then we hit the road and go to Washington. And it's like John Wall again, you know? Like, I played against John Wall in the Summer League. And now it's like a rematch. Now I'm playing against him again.
Lin on the drive, gets inside. Left-handed, great play from Jeremy Lin. Breaks it down the floor and throws it down with the left hand.
I was like, dang, he kind of dunked on my head. I was like, I'm gonna try to get him back. A couple possessions later, they messed up their coverage. I had a free lane, and I just tried to take the rim down. When I saw that opening, I just tried to dunk it as hard as I could. I don't know, it's just, there's been so much pain and so many trying times, and now they get to play. I'm just letting it all out, man. I'm just letting it all out on the floor. After the game, I just look back and I'm like, man, that was so fun.
There's a great story that's brewing, and it's Jeremy Lin. And this week, contracts are guaranteed for the rest of the year. He's been balling out, saying, show that man his money.
The things that's for real is what his vision, which won't change, his speed, which won't change, his knowledge of the game, which won't change. I just don't see it changing. You know, now, again, please don't quote me on that.
Now he's on the scouting report. He is now.
Let's see if he's in the scouting report for the Lakers on Friday night at the Garden.
This is basically where I lived the last 2 weeks, and so it's the couch I slept on. My brother and sister-in-law did a good job of hosting me, had a lot of fun. And now their little kid might have to move out. If I don't do laundry now, I won't do laundry when I'm married. Fact.
You guys are brats.
So we do other
他在我
things.
那是你的
Like what?
那是你的家教比较
Like-
他在我家的时候住了
Like what?
不过这里
Like
比较麻
what?
烦
What don't we do is the question.
What do you do? What do you do?
I take a nap every day.
Yeah, that I know.
Who does that? Not many people can.
Yeah,
Not
and
many
you,
people
and you
can.
eat a lot non-stop all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the general manager was like, "Hey, Jeremy, by the way, you're guaranteed now, so get off the couch." I was like,
This guy has a place to stay, but he doesn't want to stay there. He wants to crash in here. They don't want this to be on the news. Jeremy is sitting on the couch of his brother's house.
It's crazy. It's just crazy to. I'm telling you, social media, Twitter, Facebook, my phone. It's just. I don't know if it could get crazier than this. Like, I really don't.
Jeremy Lin, are you following that story at all?
No idea. I know who he is, but I don't really know what's going on too much with him.
Are you surprised at the production that Lin's had over the past week?
I don't even know what he's done. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
I'm reading all these quotes about what he's saying. Kobe Bryant has no idea who Jeremy Lin is. I'm like, what? I'm like, why would you do that? I didn't say anything about you. I never talked bad about you. So when I heard that, I was like, here we go.
Would you consider guarding him if he's having one of those games?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
There is a new man in town. May the best man Lin.
Over under 23 points for Lin tonight, Bomani.
So against the Lakers with those trees they've got inside, it won't be so Linsane tonight.
Kobe or Lin? Who scores more tonight?
I'm going with my guy, Jeremy Lin, right here. Because
you might do that.
all he does is Lin, David.
Jeremy Lin in just 1 week has turned things around for his career and for the New York Knicks.
I love it. It's awesome, man. This is like the greatest thing to happen to New York ever.
It's one of those nights and it's one of those stories where it really is why we love sports.
I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but I was like, I'm just going to be really, really aggressive. Everything was going well. Everything was going down.
Lin puts it up, puts it in. Terrific sparks. And listen to this Cardinal crowd.
I think the one thing where I kind of lost it a little bit, he had come down, he kind of like stutter stepped and spun and finger rolled it.
Lin likes the open floor, spinning, puts it up and backs it in. Sensational play from Jeremy Lin.
The garden erupted, and to do it on the national stage, anybody who saw that moment will never forget.
Electrifying the garden again. He's got 18 points.
Welcome to our studios for the Jeremy Lin Toyota Halftime Show.
Jeremy Lin was superb, 7 of 12 from the field, 18 points, 5 assists. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers struggling shooting the ball, but they're only down by 8. Bryant, a couple of fakes, gonna put it up and knocks it down. Struck by Lin, stolen by Lin. Left side separate, left-handed layup. Bryant spinning, difficult shot for some. Yeah. Kobe Bryant again. He is starting to get in one of those zones right now. Gasol is on Lin. Puts up the two-pointer. Puts it out. Jeremy Lin with 31. And a rebound by Jeffries. Lin for 3.
And my favorite play of this whole year was when I hit that 3 in the corner. Just because that game had so much hype, and that shot was kind of the dagger that put the game out of reach for them.
Already cut twice this season, sleeping on a teammate's couch because he had nowhere else to go, and suddenly Jeremy Lin is the toast of Manhattan.
This is it right here. This is my dream, and I'm just thankful to God, man, because this is my dream being lived out, and I'm so thankful for that.
Jeremy Lin, 38 points. It's the most by a Knick this season. Linsanity continues here at Madison Square Garden.
It's indescribable, really. It's something I've never seen before. I didn't foresee this coming. You know, it's unbelievable.
This is like how weird I am. I was like, I'm gonna go off this game, and at the end of the interview,
they're going to be like, oh, so do you think Kobe knows who you are now?
Jeremy, you knew somebody was going to ask you this, but do you think Kobe knows who you are now?
If they ask me that question, I'm going to be like, who the hell is Kobe? That's what I was going to say. And then I thought about it, and I was like, I prayed about it. I was like, you know, what would Jesus do? And I'm like, Jesus probably wouldn't say that. So I was like, I'm going to change my answer.
Well, you guys had to ask Kobe. I don't know.
Let's get to what matters in sports today. Jeremy Lin.
Right now, the biggest star in New York is Jeremy Lin.
I don't even think you have to be a sports fan to hear about this story.
New York has a raging case of Linsanity.
That's what it is right now. It's just really madness right now.
Shake that.
All I do is Lin, Lin, Lin.
What do you think? What do you think about all this?
It's crazy. It's just crazy.
One of the biggest headlines in sports right now is Linsanity.
If you haven't caught it yet, you will. Linsanity takes New York by storm.
He was a last-ditch effort for the Knicks. They sort of said, all right, who wants to play? Right. And he raised his hand and, all right, get in there.
I have never seen anything like this in all my years of covering sports. I've never seen somebody go from a no-name to an absolute phenomenon inside of 2 weeks. It's unbelievable.
He's doing it with charisma, with style, with flair, and he's having fun.
It's crazy. Catch some fire.
Linsanity, I think it'll probably be in the dictionary in the next version.
Linsanity? I love it. I love Linsanity. I'm so happy for him.
Jeremy Lin's 89 points, the most by any player in his first 3 pro starts since the ABA-NBA merger.
Outside to Lin, crosses over Ridnour and hits. Jeremy Lin up top to Fields. Lin a whirling dervish right for the rim, zigzagging to the cup. The Knicks have stolen one. It's their 5th straight win, their longest of the season.
You have been surpassed as the most famous person who was a Harvard graduate.
I knew about Jeremy before you did.
Are you taking credit for Linsanity? It kind of feels like you are a little bit.
I can't take credit for it, but I'm just saying I was there early.
You said it's a great story. What's the greatest part of it for you?
That we've won 5 in a row. That's for me. Just everything. Just here's just what's right with sports. He's an underdog that came up. He does it right the right way. Can he play in the NBA? Yeah, of course. He's got all the tools and he's playing really well. That's not a fluke how he's playing.
They had this one dude courtside who was just yelling at me the whole game. He's like, you're a 1-week wonder. You know, you're not going to win this game. You suck. We were playing bad. We were tired. And I was like, man, this is going to be a tough one to pull out. We were down 5 with a minute left. You know, got this huge steal, layup, down 3. They're coming down. We get a stop.
The and one at Amir Johnson, who I believe had 5 blocks to that point, ties the game.
Lin fakes the 3, drives, goes in for the layup. It's good, out of bounds. Lin can tie it with a free throw.
They come down, miss shot, and now we got the ball with like 20 seconds left.
Lin to Shumpert. Shumpert, pull-up jump shot. Back to Waldo, Chandler the rebound. And the Knicks will hold it for the final shot as the 24-second clock is shut off. Mike D'Antoni won't call timeout and let the Raptors set up their D. The crowd on its feet here at the Air Canada Center. Lin puts it up. Bang! Jeremy Lin from downtown, and the Knicks take the lead. Amazing here at the Air Canada Center. 10 seconds, everyone standing, 20,000 in Toronto. Get out of his way! Let him just take counter on himself. 3 seconds, Lin sizes him up straight away. 3, buries it. 0.5 remaining. Linsanity continues.
I'm just glad it went like this so we can calm the Linsanity down a little bit.
We couldn't get a stop. That's all I dream about is hitting the game winner and then doing some cool little dorky pose and then walking off. You know, that's like all I did growing up. I always wanted to do that. I wanted to know what that felt like.
He's got the game. He's got the attitude. He's got the swag. He's got all of that.
Okay. Thank you for being, or do I do the first part?
No,
Okay. Hey, Jeremy, Whoops. It's driving me out of my mind. Just dial ** Knicks on your iPhone or Android phone.
Or go to NYKnicks.
Can't get it out of my head. That girl is poison. Oh, man. To all my friends in Indonesia, to all my fans in Singapore, to all my fans around the world, thank you for all your support.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
Linsanity is catching on even halfway around the world in Taiwan, igniting a crowd in Taipei that went to a bar at 8 in the morning to watch him on TV.
Esse é Jeremy Lin, o novo fenômeno da NBA.
これがこちら。背中に書いてある。
El efecto Jeremy Lin continúa en el mundo de la NBA.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
He's handled everything very well, as you said, unflappable. But if there is a chink in the armor, where can Lin improve his game? A chink in the armor.
A chink in the armor.
Nice build. He's got long arms. That's what you need as a point guard. And he's really, I mean...
What about his eyes?
He's great. He has great court vision.
Take away the Lin puns. This is what you end up with. Amazing. Now, is that even legal?
Jeremy Lin, yes, that's real. Jeremy Lin coming out of a fortune cookie.
This whole thing has shown how unprepared we were to deal with this culture in this context.
Floyd Mayweather and Jeremy Lin tweets. All the hype is because he's Asian. Black players do what he does every night, don't get the same praise.
First of all, what he said, I think, is racist. Not only can he compete and make it in the NBA, the guy's tearing it up and is breaking records, you knucklehead.
Check it out. He does the math to win. Yeah.
For many years, we've had many stereotypes about Asian Americans, and now they're all kind of coming out like there's no big deal. They are a big deal.
And that'll do it. A winning streak comes to an end in disappointing fashion, and the New Orleans Hornets hand Jeremy Lin and the Knicks their first loss in the Jeremy Lin era.
Now it's easier for me, you know? Someone will say something racist, and I'll laugh, and I'll think it's funny. Everything I get now, like all the negative stuff, I'll just put it in one place and turn it into positive stuff so that I could use it the right way. And when I play out of anger, I play horrible. And so I had to learn how to control my emotions and then just like let it go.
因为在 NBA 打球已经有很繁重的比赛的压力，媒体的压力，观众的压力，在这一方面，这些都是由自然而生的。不管你喜欢不喜欢，不管你考虑不考虑，这些东西都是存在的。所以我认为，希望我希望将来大家把这件事情，把有华人球员去挑战 NBA 作为一件比较正常的事情。 因为我感到，当你在突然一下子成为一个明星的时候，肯定会有很多的事情发生，很多的人出现，所以在这个时候呢，我希望他更多的和家人待在一起，因为家人是对自己最大的、最无私、最大的支持，只有家人是会给你最大和最无私的支持。
So did you know that new Knicks sensation Jeremy Lin has a brother who's a freshman point guard for Hamilton College? We did, though. Even we didn't know that today's Continental Home finale would bring out the entire Lin clan, including the Linsational Jeremy himself.
I did not know he was coming to my game, and I actually heard from a couple people on campus, like, hey, your brother's coming. I was like, no, he's not. I've never really had that before, have that kind of hype around one of my games. But I didn't see it as that big of a difference. It was just my family watching my game, so. I mean, he did come down. Before Linsanity happened, he had come down and watched my games before that, and no one really cared.
For the last 2 years, he was never enjoying himself out there. But in that New Jersey game, when things were rolling, for the first time, he was just having fun, living his dream. I think that was the best thing from Linsanity.
The big question now is, can Linsanity continue?
I don't know how long it's going to last, but right now, I don't care.
Lin out of the corner for three. Got them all!
Anyone who said they saw this coming is lying.
There's a lot more that he can do than anybody knew, and it comes down to confidence.
Jeremy on the drive. For Jeremy Lin. Got the back of the bucket.
He's got that swag. He has that it right now.
This transcends sports. It really does. He has shined and evolved into the best story in sports today.
Pressure in the backcourt. Oh, and Lin will steal to the basket. Lin over Dirk. How good is this?
I'm just out there having fun and playing the game. I can have bad games and they may not like me or they may boo me. There's a lot more important things in life than just basketball, because at the end of the day, basketball is just a game.
The show continues on Broadway. It's a story with many spokes. An Ivy Leaguer, Asian American athlete, guy off the end of the bench, speaks for everyone who didn't get their chance. It's only a couple of weeks, but in New York City and on basketball's big stage, this guy has hit it out of the park.
What happened to me, the story that happened to me, I mean, it wasn't like I knew I could just come off the bench and do that. I really didn't. I thought I could play at this level and I thought I could be a good player, but I didn't feel like that would happen. And some of those experiences out there when I was on the court, I felt like I was being controlled by something else. I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience. Some of the plays that I made, some of the wins that we had were just so out of this world that I still have to pinch myself to really believe it.
As Jeremy ends one chapter and begins another, the road ahead will continue to test his perseverance, but his faith will forever guide him.
The thing I had to learn last year is a perfect plan doesn't mean that it ends up the way you want it to end up. In the past, if you asked me what a perfect plan, I'd be like, I get what I want, I get my dream, I play well. Now I have a different perspective on what a perfect plan is. You don't get better if you win all the time. You get better when you lose. You improve when you lose. You look at yourself more when you lose. So if you learn a lot, or if I learn a lot, if I grow a lot, if I become a better person through tough times, that's part of his perfect plan. That's part of his perfect will. I was going through all my insecurities and uncertainty and lack of confidence, I was losing focus on God. I was focusing on all these other things like my job and what other people thought of me and what the reporters were writing. You know, over time, I was able to check myself and kind of get my focus back. And I think God did something supernatural in me, something that I couldn't do on my own, something that I may never be able to recreate. So I think in that instance, you know, it's just learning to fight to constantly live and play for God. And when I do that, I'll be able to walk on water.
It's all about Lion King. We have Nala right here, baby Simba.